Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Ethereum has just had a perfect bounce from this important level on the chart, while a new signal is flashing in the short term for Bitcoin, which I'll talk about in just a moment, so definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a really quick update here on the 4-day Bitcoin chart. And right now, as I recorded this video, the price of Bitcoin is still running into this important horizontal resistance, which is sitting at around 30.5k if you're looking at these previous candle closes. But as I've said recently on the channel, we ideally need to see a confirmed breakout above around 31,000 because that is where this previous candle high is sitting at that we saw back in April. And on top of that, 31,000 is an important technical level, which I'll talk more about in just a moment. But basically, we still need to see a confirmed breakout above 31,000, such as a weekly candle close, for example, above 31,000 in order to actually confirm a breakout. So until then, this is still the resistance to pay attention to on the larger timeframes. And of course, the larger multi-month long bullish trend is still technically the same as it has been since around the beginning of this year. But anyway, now taking a look at the daily Bitcoin chart, and once again, the price is still running into that important resistance, which I have here on the daily time frame in between around 30,000 to 31,000. And on top of the price running into this important resistance, obviously, once again, a few days ago, the daily Bitcoin RSI entered into overbought territories, meaning that basically in the short term, we were overheated. We went too far to the upside too quickly, and we needed some time to cool off. And obviously, as you can see here, over the last 1 week or so, we have already started to see a bit of a short-term cool-off play out as expected, which has mostly been sideways price action with a slight pullback from the local high. And so this has helped to reset the daily Bitcoin RSI at least a little bit from those overbought territories, but obviously we still have a lot more room to go before we actually get back down towards more neutral levels in the daily RSI. And now it's important to mention that we don't necessarily have to go back down to those lower levels in the RSI. It's just that would be ideal for the larger bullish trend, because when the RSI is at these slightly lower levels, for example, back around the middle, usually in that case, that gives us some more room to the upside. Whereas if you compare that to when the RSI is overbought, that basically means we have very limited room to the upside, and we do to see some sort of cool off. So basically, it would be ideal for the RSI to continue to reset just in the shorter term here with either some sideways price action or possibly a slight pullback. But just keep an eye out on this daily Bitcoin RSI, because as this continues to reset, once again, that is actually giving us some more room to the upside if we can actually break out back above this resistance. And as for the momentum in the daily Bitcoin MACD, as I've also said in recent videos here on the channel, just in the short term over the last few days, of course, we have lost some bullish momentum as the price is running into important resistance, and of course we're needing to reset that RSI. And now staying on the daily time frame, taking a look at the Fibonacci extensions. First of all, this first Fibonacci extension, the 1618 Fibonacci extension, was sitting at around 25.2k, which is exactly where this previous high came into play. And then after that, obviously we saw a strong rejection and actually a correction before a continuation of the larger bullish trend later on. And the moment we confirmed a breakout above that Fibonacci extension, the next major price target was the next major Fibonacci extension, the 2618 level, which was sitting at around 31,000. And once again, that has acted as major resistance and is still currently acting as major resistance at around 31,000. But if we see a confirmed breakout above that 31k level with confirmation, for example, like a weekly candle close above that level, then in that case, the next Fibonacci extension is the 3618 Fibonacci extension sitting at around 37,000. So once again, if we see a confirmed breakout above 31,000, next we should be looking towards around 37,000. But obviously, it is important to understand that we have not yet seen a confirmed breakout above 31,000. So as I said earlier in the video, that is still the immediate level of resistance to to pay attention to. And now, if you're zooming into the shorter term, this is on the 2-hour Bitcoin chart. As I've said recently on the channel over the last 2 to 3 days, we're looking relatively neutral in the short term, not really overly bullish or overly bearish, because first of all, close to a week ago now, we had this short-term bearish divergence, and then a few days ago, we had this short-term bullish divergence, and so they basically cancel each other out. And when you combine that with the fact that the daily Bitcoin MACD is showing low momentum, while the price is also running into major resistance during a larger bullish trend, this is all pointing towards the short term looking very neutral, once again expecting mostly choppy sideways price action. And so I would not be surprised if we continue to see this type of price action over the coming days, maybe even over the next 1 week, in order to help reset that daily Bitcoin RSI, which once again gives us some more room to the upside later on for the larger time frames. And now heading back to that 2-hour Bitcoin chart, as I also mentioned in my last video, we do have a small symmetrical triangle pattern here. And while I was recording my last video, of course, we saw a wick to the downside below this level of support, which was sitting at approximately 30.1k. But obviously, since then, over the last 1 day, we have seen a bounce from 30.1k up towards this level of resistance, which is sitting at around 30.5 to 30.6k. And so far, as of recording this video, we have now seen 2-hour candle closes above this level of resistance. And so technically speaking, this breakout is currently valid at the time of recording this video. But if we see a confirmed break back below that resistance level by seeing something like a 2-hour candle close back below around 30.5k, then in that case, that would essentially invalidate this breakout to the upside and invalidate this overall pattern, meaning we're back to this neutral range, expecting some more choppy sideways price action. But for now, while the price of Bitcoin is trading above this resistance, technically speaking, we do have this technical price target for this symmetrical triangle pattern, which to the upside is sitting at around 32,000 approximately. But it is important to understand that even if we further confirm this breakout with a successful retest here and a bounce from 30.5k, even in that case, we obviously still cannot forget about that important resistance at around 31,000. So when you're considering that fact, obviously this trade isn't the best trade to take. Of course, if you want to take the trade, you can. That is totally up to you. But it's just worth pointing out that we do have low momentum in the shorter term, and we do have that major resistance at 31,000, which potentially limits the short-term upside that we could see. So once again, technically speaking, we have a price target at 32,000, but that invalidates if we see a confirmed break back below 30.5k. But overall, in terms of the short-term momentum, this is still looking relatively neutral. And now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart. And over the last 1 day, we have now seen a bounce from this level of support, which is actually a price range in between around 1770 to 1820. We saw a perfect bounce from around 1820. And obviously, in terms of the larger trend at play and the price oscillators, these haven't really changed all that much over the last 1 day. Of course, we continue to see a bit more of a reset in the daily RSI, while also seeing reduced momentum in the short term here in the daily MACD. And now zooming into the shorter term, this is on the 8-hour ETH to US dollar chart. Once again, the price of ETH is still in this correction or pullback phase after that strong rejection from the golden pocket, which is sitting in between around 1930 to 1940. So once again, that is still the strong resistance to pay attention to in the shorter term. And as for short-term support, zooming into the 6-hour ETH to US dollar chart, over the last 1 day, we saw a perfect bounce from this previous descending line of resistance, which is now acting as new support, sitting at around 1815 approximately. So once again, at least for now, that is the short-term support to pay attention to. But if we see a confirmed break back below around 1815, then in that case, the next support that I'll be watching is this price range, which was previous support and some previous resistance right here, which is currently sitting in between around 1750 to 1780. So once again, that could also act as support. And as I've also been saying almost every day over the last 1 week since all the way back up here, of course, we currently have an active bearish divergence on the 6-hour Ethereum charts because obviously we have those higher highs in the price of ETH in the 6-hour candle closes while also confirming lower highs in the 6-hour Ethereum RSI. And since that bearish divergence confirmed close to a week ago, obviously we've only seen more lower lows and lower highs in both the RSI and the price action, which technically means the shorter term momentum is actually looking more bearish than bullish. So once again, just in the short term, nothing has really changed over the last 1 day apart from that strong bounce from this level of support. But overall, the momentum just in the short term is currently still bearish. So we're still in this pullback phase that is within a larger multi-month long bullish trend. And now, if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways in the short term as it is at the moment, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money automatically using artificial intelligence, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from a choppy sideways price range. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.